2024 is going to be my year. I will excel, rise, and shine. Nobody can take it away from me. This is what I told myself on 31st December 2023. And then we reached the middle of the year, and I already knew this year was going to be even worse than last year. But there's this thing they say, that a bad year teaches you a lot. And well, this year taught me a lot of things. And I know sometimes we don't want the lessons, we just want to be happy. But we don't always get what we want. That's life. This year was honestly physically very heavy because it constantly felt like I was carrying this really heavy load on my head, my back, and my chest, and all I wanted was for somebody to help me get it off me. But that is when I realized that at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. Others might be willing to help you get that load off your back, but nobody would be willing to do it all for you. Others have their own responsibilities, their own loads, their own burdens to take care of. I had to learn to take care of my own responsibilities because at the end of the day, I do not have the right to blame anybody else for that load still being present on my back. It actually amuses me because I should have been happy. I got everything I wanted. Everything that I had ever asked God for. A great circle of friends, love, a happy family, good grades, and a decently good-looking face. I should have been happy, but for some reason I just wasn't happy. And that's the thing. We all ask for things, but we forget to ask for the right things. What about peace of mind, contentment, satisfaction, happiness, good health, ability to balance between the highs and lows of life, kindness, compassion, the power to be a good human being? I forgot to ask for the things that actually mattered. And through it all, one thing I realized is that prioritize your health. No matter what, if you do not have health, you will lose out on everything. Be consistent and disciplined. And another very important thing that I realized is that one should not rush into things. Experience everything fully. Whatever you are doing, get completely immersed into it. The right timing will get to the right things. Don't try to do everything in the fear of missing out. See, I am 19 years old, and even if you're not 19, regardless of your age, it is okay to be lost. It is okay to be confused. It is okay to not know what you are doing or why you are doing what you are doing. You are not supposed to have your entire life figured out. If anybody out there is telling you to get your entire life sorted and for you to have a clear, concrete plan on what you want to do, then tell them to shut up. Because this is the age where you make mistakes, where you fall down and you rise, you fall down again and you rise again. Life is not meant to be taken so seriously. Stress needs to be taken when it is required. However, it is not supposed to be taken to such great extent that it compromises your health. And in this rut of life, never lose track of your goals, your dreams, your passion. Your goals are what help you live a stable life. However, it is your dreams that make you want to keep living. So whatever little hobbies that you had picked up as a child, continue doing it. Do not stop doing it just because they're not a source of income or because they seem stupid. They're not stupid. They are what make you, you. However, life is such that things happen so quickly that you wouldn't even realize when time flies by, when the months have passed by. So, no matter what, keep the people you love close to you. It is these people who would help you stay a little sane, who will add a little bit of sanity in your moments of insanity. Any kind of relation, it is actually like a workout. Just like any workout, you need a few rest days. So there will be a few days where you might just not have the energy to reciprocate. You might not have the energy to give your 200%. And that is okay. But if your rest days go on for weeks or months, then you have lost all the progress. So a relation needs constant energy, constant efforts, but at the same time, you are allowed to step back a little when things get a little too exhausting. If you keep trying to put 200% efforts, even when you are on a 10% energy, it will only lead to you being even more exhausted, and at one point, the entire relation or the workout will fall apart. So in order to help any relation succeed, you need to learn how to communicate. And even if you are a terrible communicator, it is okay. Use broken words, use broken sentences. Because people can understand broken words, but they cannot understand silence. People are not mind readers. Any sense of entitlement that you have needs to be removed in order to foster a relationship. Learn to own up to your mistakes. Learn to apologize. Apologizing is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of respect. It shows the other person that you care so much about them that you are willing to recognize your mistakes, own up to it, and actually work upon it. One very important lesson that I learned this year is that not everyone is out there to attack you. Because so many of your past experiences might have turned you into this very cautious, distrusting person, because you constantly think that people are out there to get you, to hurt you. They'll be nice to you 1 second and then they'll suddenly backstab you. But unless you learn to trust, with caution definitely, you will never be able to love. And one of the greatest experiences of a human being and one of the greatest strengths of a human being is their ability to love freely without any restrictions. You deserve to be able to love as well as be loved. And you can only do that when you get rid of the fears that have developed in your mind because of your past experiences. Be who you want to be, not who others want you to be. Understand who you really are. Do not lose your sense of self when you begin liking someone. Do not lose your individuality, no matter what. So don't just avoid doing things because you are scared. Because life is such that you will have enough regrets to take care of. Do not add more regrets to your life. Do everything. The biggest regrets in life actually arise from people not doing the things that they wanted to do. It's just out of the fear of imperfections, mistakes, messing up. So many irrelevant fears. If you'll never try, you will never know. And life is not about perfection. Life is about imperfections, experiences, and growth. And another thing that I realized this year was that my mind was my biggest enemy. Everything that was happening in my life was because of the fears, the stress, the negative emotions that, stemmed from my mind. And there's this thing called imposter syndrome, where basically my mind used to convince me that I am an imposter in this world and that everything I have achieved was out of just luck and not hard work and that I did not actually deserve good things. But these are just intrusive thoughts. As soon as they come into your head, all you have to do is push them back again. You are not an imposter. You deserve all the happiness, all the good things. So do not let anybody, even if it was your very own mind, convince you otherwise. And finally, one of the biggest, most important lessons that I learned this year was that healing is a constant process. It sometimes gets really heavily overwhelming when you decide that you want to work upon yourself and you realize there's just so much that you need to work upon. And then you start questioning yourself. Am I really that bad of a person? Do I really have so many flaws, imperfections, defects? But the fact that you even want to work upon yourself in the first place is a sign of strength. The thing is that there are so many things that you have learned as coping mechanisms from your childhood that you need to unlearn as an adult. Because apparently the way life works as a child is very different from the way life works as an adult. Healing is not a one-day process. A few days you would feel like you're doing very well and the next day you would be back to square one. And that is okay. You are a human being. You are allowed to feel things. You are allowed to not know what you're feeling. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to rant. You are allowed to be angry. But most importantly, you are allowed to be kind to yourself, to forgive yourself for your unintentional mistakes and to work upon these mistakes and grow as a person. I realize that forgiving others is way easier than forgiving yourself. Be kind to yourself. A lot of your actions have come up because of your past experiences, because of the things that you did to make yourself tougher. So do not blame yourself for simply picking up strategies that you needed in order to survive. However, remember to learn the art of grieving without letting that grief consume you. And no matter what, it is never too late. It is never too late to learn and never too late to unlearn. You can always choose to be a better person at any moment of time. And there is never a right timing. You need to create the right time. Stop waiting for things to fall into place for you to be happy. Be happy wherever you are. And finally, remember that you are worthy of love, kindness, compassion, and care. You are not only allowed to give love, but you are also allowed to receive the type of love that you have been giving out. And not even the same amount of love. You deserve to experience 10 times the love that you have been giving out. Learn to accept the love that is being given to you. You are a symbol of strength for not giving up no matter how many obstacles life throws at you. Finally, Happy New Year. I hope 2025 treats us with a little bit more kindness.